Yes, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Warzone Jones coming right back at you with an MMA topic video, and I gotta say, Jon Jones, Daniel Cormier, these guys have no love for one another. These guys went at it at their media day. Like this wasn't even a regular post conference. It was just a media day. This is basically them hyping their fight at UFC 178. These guys literally went at it. At first, they did a stare down. You think they about to do a regular stare down? You probably thought it was going to get a little intense, but not that intense. These guys got into a fight. They brawled. They brawled right there on the stage. They went from the stage tumbling down like a ton of bricks onto the floor. These guys went at it. So these guys have no love for one another. When I talk about beef, these guys got beef. You know what beef is? It's when you absolutely hate another guy. And when you see that guy, you're going to do something to him. It's not nothing nice. I'm not talking about shaking his hand. I'm not talking about giving him a high five. No, I'm talking about you're going to hurt him. You're going to punch him, kick him. You're going to do something that's not nice. I tell you that right now. So these guys do not like each other. So I was watching their interviews that they was doing. At first, they was complimenting each other. Jon Jones was complimenting Daniel Cormier, saying things like, he's a good fighter. He's a real good wrestler. But regardless of how good he is, he's going to go in there and beat him. And the same thing with Daniel Cormier. He was complimenting Jon Jones, saying that he was a really good fighter. He even said that he was the absolute best. He won all those fights in a row, and he beat all those guys, all those top contenders, and he constantly defended his title. So these guys were complimenting each other. So deep down inside, they got respect for one another, but at the same time, they got heat for one another. These guys want to go at it, but it's just more interesting that way. When you got two guys who absolutely don't like each other, it's just, it makes up for a good, hype, a good story. Like, the story between Jon Jones and Rashad Evans was really, really good. I thought that was a really, really, really good fight. It helped with their hype. But the fight, their fight it wasn't really that good. It was okay, but it wasn't as good as it was hyped up to be. But hopefully this fight will be as good as it's gonna be hyped up to be. The hype is gonna be really, really good. They hyped it up themselves, so this isn't fake hype. These guys have heat for one another. Now, Daniel Cormier said once they got each other's faces to do their stare down, he said that Jon Jones put his forehead up against his, and he like nudged him a little bit. And when he did that, that's why he pushed him. So he pushed him like towards his neck. Jon Jones making jokes about it. He said he gave him a karate chop towards his neck, but he pushed him towards his neck, and you could tell by the look at Jon Jones' face that he was not okay with that. And Jon Jones walked over that and he tried to punch him, but it didn't land. He missed because there were people in the way. So these guys were literally trying to rip each other's hearts out. Like they don't like each other. That's just how it is. They don't like each other. If you're gonna get into it like that, you do not like the other guy. You may respect the other guy. You may respect his skill set, but you don't like them. So these guys have actually been hyping the fight up between them two actually for quite a while. Sometimes they'll bring up stories about them meeting each other in the past, and they will sometimes bring up things like, he said something I didn't really like. I didn't feel like that was respectful. And, they will constantly do that, in their interviews when they was getting ready to fight other people, because, Daniel Cormier was coming to the light heavyweight division. And, Jon Jones, he's the king of that light heavyweight division. He's the champion. So, and sometimes, Daniel Cormier was he even said in the interviews, he was saying that, that Jon Jones is a guy who was, just being fake. Jon Jones has a reputation for being fake. And he was saying that, he needs to stop doing that and just be himself. That he's a guy who can be a prick. And maybe Jon Jones can, but who am I, to really say that, I don't care. I just want to see a good fight. Whether Jon Jones is a prick or a good person, the same thing for Daniel Cormier, whether he's a prick or a good person, I just want to see a really, really good fight. So there's a lot of beef, man. There's a lot of heat between these two guys, and we're going to get a really, really good fight between two guys at the top of their game, young, some of the absolute very best in the world today. Jon Jones versus Daniel Cormier. You cannot miss this fight. How can you not be excited? for this fight. And so I guess, Alexander Gustafsson, he was supposed to have been in this spot. I would say it's more interesting between these two because there's a story there. There's a story there, and the fight is even more interesting now than ever. With this brawl that these two guys had, I only wish that Jon Jones didn't actually apologize. Like, man, what you apologizing for, man? Maybe he didn't want to get fined or something. That's probably what he thought was going to happen, that he was going to get fined, and he probably is going to get fined. Him and Daniel Cormier, because, you fought at a time when you wasn't supposed to. But it does leave a good hype. It excites me. It pumps me up to see this fight even more. So, Jon Jones was apologizing. He apologized to the UFC. He apologized to Dana White. He did a bunch of apologizing. And, he does. Jon Jones wants to have this clean image. He wants to have this clean image. But sometimes he just don't come off that way. He comes off as a prick sometimes to some people. The stuff that he does doesn't bother me. Like, I don't care. I really don't care. I've seen guys do that before. For Floyd Mayweather, Mike Tyson. The list goes on of like athletes who are really, really controversial. But to be honest with you, if Jon Jones don't really do that stuff outside the octagon, you probably think that he was born. So the stuff that he does on Instagram, he had his daughter. He had his daughter come on the internet, and she said, DC, my dad's gonna beat you up, guaranteed. So stuff like that, you were probably wondering, now why the hell would you get your daughter to say something like that about Daniel Cormier? So you probably say, well, he's exploiting his daughter like that. But once again, that doesn't bother me at all. It really, really doesn't bother me because it adds to the match, it adds to the hype, it adds up to the fight. So I'm pretty sure you want to see this fight more than ever. I know I do. I most definitely do. Both of these guys are at the top of their game, and I want to see these guys go at it. Jon Jones versus Daniel Cormier. This looks like it's gonna be amazing. So, this is Warzone Jones. That's all I got to say about that. Those are my thoughts. If you guys haven't done so, excuse me, get my words right. Let me say that right. If you guys haven't done so, please subscribe to my channel. I'm Warzone Jones. I'm out. Deuce.